My ring light is testing me today and it's on that verge of like, is the cord broken enough that I have to go and buy a new one soon? Because it could be a possibility. Hey guys, what's up? It's Val. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. If you're not, thank you for coming back. I really appreciate it. In honor of it being February, the month of love, the month of Valentine's Day, I thought I would bring you guys a little video of some of my like go-to romance recommendations, my favorite rom-com, just get you in the mood for love, in the mood for Valentine's Day book recommendations. These are not going to be like emotional romances. Like I think we all want to have fun on Valentine's Day, right? So these are going to be light, fluffy, fun, kicking your feet in the air, screaming around like a 12-year-old type of romances. So without further ado, let's get right on into it. So for those who may have been following me on TikTok for a very long time, you'll know that one of the very first videos that blew up on my page was me talking about one of my favorite series of all time, and it is the Bridgerton series. Now, for those who are unfamiliar, this series follows 8 brothers and sisters in the same family, the Bridgerton family. So there are a lot of books, and I read them early in 2023. I had read Colin and Penelope's book first. I read that in 2022 because I am absolutely obsessed with them, and I have been waiting for their season for 2.5 freaking years. So I read their book first and then I read the others in January last year and I loved all of them. However, there are 9 Bridgerton books in total, I believe, and these ones that I'm about to show you are the ones that really stuck out to me. They made me sob hysterically. Like, I think that these two are the most beautiful romances out of all of the books. They are Romancing Mr. Bridgerton, which is Colin and Penelope's book, and Queen Charlotte, which is Charlotte and George. So obviously this one had a TV show adaptation last year and the book was written afterwards. But this one here is going to be the focus of Bridgerton season 3, which finally is going to come to Netflix on the 16th of May, even though they're splitting it into 2. I don't want to get into it because I will literally be on this app for about 30. But anyway, out of all 9 romances, these 2 were my favorite. So I'll talk about Colin and Penelope first. This is the 4th book in the series. Now, these are all interconnected standalones. However, Penelope, almost called her Penelope Bridgerton. Penelope Featherington is a very pivotal and crucial character to these storylines. And if you haven't watched the show, if you haven't read the books, I will not tell you who she is. But I personally think that if you watch the show and you know why Penelope is so significant, go ahead and read this book, because if you don't know who she is / why she's so significant to the story, you will get spoilers in this book. So do with that as you will. This is the most beautiful story. I love it so much. Like, the way Colin loves Penelope makes her love herself. I normally am not a fan of like friends to lovers, childhood friends to lovers, especially when the girl is like pining after him for so many years and he's just blind. But this is the most beautiful depiction of like, she fell first, he fell harder. And if you love my wife, you will love Mr. Colin Bridgerton. I can't wait for y'all to eat your words when you see him on screen or read this book. I'm going to give you guys a quote from each of these books just to give you a little tease, a little taste as to why you should read it. This man had the audacity to say to her, "I love you with everything I am, everything I've been, and everything I hope to be. I love you with my past and I love you for my future." And he just keeps going. That's all you're going to get. Now, Queen Charlotte, there was something in this. There is something about this that I didn't know I needed, and I got it. It was just the most beautiful story. This is a prequel, so for those unfamiliar with Bridgerton, we do have Queen Charlotte, who is loosely based around the Queen of England. She acts as the Queen of England in the present day Bridgerton storyline. However, this is a backstory to how she became queen and her love story with King George. And guys, I cannot believe how much this one like affected me on another level. Colin and Penelope were my favorite out of all the siblings, but this just like did something to my brain. George, Farmer George, you know who you are. Come and find me, baby. Honestly, the most beautiful love story. Back when I read it last year, I only gave it 4.5 stars, but it's honestly like a Roman Empire type of thing for me. I don't stop thinking about these 2. It's so good. I'm gonna give you a quote. Oh, guys, there are 2, okay? This man had the audacity to say, "My heart calls your name." My heart calls your name. That's one quote. And then my other favorite quote from this book is, "No, George, I did not go over the wall." And if you've watched the show or you read this book, you know why. Just read it. Just read it. The next book we're going to chat about is The Right Move by Liz Tomford. This is book 2 in the Windy City series. These are interconnected standalones, so you can read them individually. This one's been my favorite so far. He's a famous star basketball player. She's a flight attendant. Grumpy sunshine to the max. They end up becoming roommates. And then through that, we get fake dating. This is such a great book. I was not expecting to love it as much as I did. I read The Right Move, which is the first one, and I gave it like 4.5 stars. This was an instant 5 stars. This is beautiful. I don't even have a quote from it for you. I think the quote, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but Ryan says something like, "I'm sorry if anybody made you feel like you were hard to love, Indy, because it's the easiest thing I've ever done." Like, be for real. Be for real. Ryan Shea's the blueprint. You got to read this book, you guys. Whilst I was up on that shelf, I had to pull down Twisted Games by Anna Huang, which is book 2 in the Twisted series. This is such a great book, you guys. If you love like the same feel and vibe as maybe Bridgerton, but modern day, this is a princess ex-bodyguard trope. This follows recent Bridget, Bridgerton's a modern day princess. Her brother basically abdicates a few months before he's like supposed to become king. And she has to quickly learn the ropes and give up her whole freedom to become queen. And her bodyguard basically helps her with her little pre-becoming queen bucket list, sorry. And their relationship sort of stems from there. This is gut-wrenchingly beautiful. I love this. The spice in this is immaculate. Reese Larson is like in my top 5 book boyfriends of all time. There was something that was so different in this, like, this book, to me, felt so different to the other 3 Twisted books. I do love the Twisted series. Twisted Lies is another favorite of mine, but there was just something different about this. Like, Anna just put her whole into this. It was so good. Now, you might be able to see the shrine above me, but I cannot do a giddy little romance recommendation without talking about Heartstopper, you guys. If you want something that's just like a quick little read, something that's just going to make you feel warm and fuzzy and giddy and make you want to kick your feet in the air, please read Heartstopper. It's so easy. If no one's told you this before, these are graphic novels. They are books that you can honestly smash, but you know, between 20 minutes, an hour, whatever. They are so gorgeous. They are young adult, but it's just the most beautiful coming of age story that you'll ever read. I think the love story between Nick and Charlie is the most pure form of love that I have ever read about, because these two communicate beyond their years, and it's one of the healthiest relationships I've ever seen. Pick these up. There are 5 of them if you'd like to get through them. Like, the mistake I made when I first started reading these is I only bought the first 2. I read them in a day and I was like, I need the rest. Where are the rest? You'll love these 2. You will love these boys so much. My favorite quote from this book is, it's not really in the books, but there's a quote from Nick and Charlie, like about Nick and Charlie, and it's, "I'd like to think we'd find each other in any universe." That's it. Now, I got to talk about this because I know I got some romantic-y gals, and I know I said I wasn't going to do anything too heavy, too hard, but this honestly is one of my favorite love stories of all time, and it had me screaming, crying, throwing up, throwing my phone everywhere, like sobbing in hysterics. I felt this love story in my soul, and I just have to show you my new baby, and it is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Guys, isn't this the most beautiful dust jacket you've ever seen? I saw this on Etsy and I just had to get it. I literally bought a hardcover of this book just to buy the dust jacket. If that's not commitment, girl, I don't know what is. I don't know what I've done to the bottom. I will put the name of the Etsy store that I bought this off of if you'd like to go do the same. They have an entire like range for the whole series. I just bought the one for Akamath, but you can buy the whole series. They are incredible. Anyways, you guys, Reese and Feyre's relationship took me by surprise in a way I have like never experienced before, because when I read A Court of Thorns and Roses, I was not hooked. I was like, what the hell's going on? And I know why. It's because I didn't like the dude that she was with. This. Do you see the way I have no words? Do you see the way I have no words for my peeps? Like, it's ridiculous. I love them so, so, so much. Like, the way Reese would do anything for his woman is not a joke. My favorite quote, I'll tell you about it in a minute. I don't know it word for word, but there's a bit where he's like in her face, or like and seeing her. It was like the answer to a question he'd been asking for over 500 years. Like, this man, come find me any day, Reese. Now, did you guys think I was going to do a romance recommendation without talking about my favorite book in the entire world of all time? It's Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. Oh, I'm trying to hide the little shine of this. This book has been getting a lot of popularity lately because the movie came out last year. Please don't watch the movie. It's terrible. This love story is this love story is otherworldly. I love this book so much. It follows the romance of the Prince of Wales and the first son of the United States. It's funny, it's found family, it's like emotional. It is one of the best books, if not my favorite book that I've ever read in my entire life. I can't express to you the feeling. I always describe this book as like it says on the back, fireworks in the sky, glitter in your hair. Like that's how this book feels. It is phenomenal, and the movie just does not do it justice. If you've watched the movie, read the book. I've had so many of my friends tell me that after they like watched the movie then read the book, that it was just otherworldly, and they're like, how does this even compare? How does the movie even touch how good this book is? The book is on another level. This and Romancing Mr. Bridgerton are the two books that I just don't understand why, but I can always reread them. Like I will never, ever put those books down. I'll never get tired of their stories because every time it's like, I feel like I'm reading it for the first time. It's so great. Let me tell you my favorite quote. There are so many good quotes in this book, but this like little bit sticks out to me all the time. I thought if someone ever loved me that way, it would set me on fire. And then I was a careless fool and I fell in love with you anyway. And then inexplicably, you had the absolute audacity to love me back. Can you believe it? Damn it, I'm gonna need to do a reread. And the last two are from one of my absolute favorite series of all time, and they are Flawless and Heartless from the Chestnut Springs series. You guys know that I talk about Heartless until the cows come home. It is one of my favorite books. Who is fucking drag racing outside my house? Now, these are all interconnected standalones. There are 5 books in the series. The series is complete. This is small town cowboy romance excellency, you guys. It is so giddy. There's always happy endings, like the best found family, the best well-developed group of friends, the best relationships. I love this series more than life. I can't explain it to you. This is a bad boy, grumpy bull rider, and basically the PR agent who has sort of been sent to set his public image straight. And Heartless is a single dad, ex-nanny trope, grumpy age gap. It's it is such a great series. Guys, I can't think straight. It's so hot in my room right now. These are amazing and they are great, and you read them so fast. I can't recommend them enough. Okay, you guys, that is everything for today. Thank you so much for watching this video and for joining me on the channel again. I really appreciate all of you being here and for supporting me. If you guys liked today's video, feel free to let me know. Feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know if you guys have any ideas or anything you might like to see me talk about in a little bit more depth on my channel. If you don't already, feel free to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I am a little bit more active over on TikTok, so feel free to check me out if you'd like. Anyway, you guys, I hope you're all having a lovely day, a lovely night, and I will see you all next time. Bye!